Hey, and welcome to the Winning Daily Show. We're here for May the 12th. We got an action-packed field full of soccer, a little Serie A, a little La Liga, and a little EPL today. And then we got some Major League Baseball, very light on the NBA side of things, and a couple WTA in the Rome and one ATP Tour out in the Rome. So we got a full slate of all sorts of picks across the board. Let's start out in soccer. Let's start with the EPL game today, the Premier League game, a old school clash, Chelsea and Arsenal, a London derby at its best, except Arsenal is no longer a relevant team. So with that, we're going to take Chelsea to win nil, plus 190 versus Arsenal. We're also going to do a score, Chelsea 2-0 versus Arsenal at plus 800. Just think Chelsea will be able to win nil pretty easy here. They've thrown up clean sheets pretty easy. Arsenal has been very, very hot and cold. They don't have a whole lot to play for anymore. Out of the Europa League, no real chance to get into the top four. Not really a strong chance to even get into the top seven to get into the Europa League. So overall, Arsenal, very, very little to play for. I think they'll probably come with a pretty young lineup here. And Chelsea should be able to shut them down and continue their stellar play here. So Chelsea to win nil plus 190. Chelsea 2-0 plus 800 is our Premier League picks for the day. Let's move to La Liga. We're going to go with Valencia plus the half goal plus 150 versus Sevilla. Sevilla has had the Real Madrid match in their hand last weekend. And now Valencia has really struggled so far this whole La Liga season. But I think they'll be up for this one versus Sevilla. And I think that half goal plus 150, really good value. So we're going to go Valencia plus the half goal plus 150 over Sevilla today. And then we're going to go with the big one, Atletico Madrid. If they can get this win, they will start to pull away a little bit and maybe regain control of La Liga after Barcelona's tie yesterday. We'll see what Real Madrid does later this week. But right now, Atletico Madrid minus 150 over Real Sociedad. I'm taking a bit of a shot here. We were off Atletico Madrid after they started to really cost us money. It's starting at about February, really starting about January. But February, they started to play really bad. They haven't really recovered since. But I think this is the chance right here versus Real Sociedad. A pretty tough team. But I think Atletico Madrid comes it, separates themselves a little bit, and starts to stake their claim as champions of La Liga. So Atletico Madrid minus 150 versus Real Sociedad. All right, we got a full slate of Serie A action today. We got a couple picks on that. We're going to ride AC Milan after their big win over the weekend over Juventus at minus 135 versus Torino. I think AC Milan takes that momentum, continues to ride. Torino, not a whole lot to play for here. So AC Milan minus 135 on the three-way we're going to go with, and they continue their nice play off that big win over Juventus over the weekend. Next up, we're going to ride two big underdogs here and see if we can grab something here. First, we're going to take Roma plus 400 versus Inter Milan. I'm looking for a little bit of a downplay here on Inter Milan here after being they're champions now. They've won Serie A. So right now, I think they will come out, lay a little bit of a dud. Can Roma capitalize on that? I don't know. They've been very hot and cold all season. But I think this is a chance Roma can get them, and that 4-1 on the three-way I really like. So Roma plus 400 versus Inter Milan on the three-way. And the next one, we're going with Sassuolo plus 400 on the three-way versus Juventus. I really just think Juventus is in a tailspin right now. Sassuolo, pretty good squad, capable of giving Juventus a lot of trouble here. So I just like this matchup. I like the 400. I think they can sneak this one and really put a nail in the coffin of Juventus Champions League hope. So Sassuolo plus 400 over Juventus on the three-way. And lastly, we got Lazio Rome. We're going with a score here. Lazio Rome 3-1 over Parma at plus 950. A little bit of a long shot, but I do look for Lazio to put it on Parma pretty good here. Parma pretty much has not a ton to play for the last couple games of this season, so I think they will be able to handle it. and put this away. So we're going Laszlo Rome 3-1 versus Parma at plus 950. All right, that's our soccer for the day. Let's move to Major League Baseball. We got 3 picks in Major League Baseball. The first one we're going to ride is the Philadelphia Phillies at minus 144 versus the Washington Nationals. Really like this Zach Wheeler matchup. Washington Nationals bats are really, really poor. They shouldn't be able to hit Wheeler. Great value at the minus 144. Lester's not the pitcher he was, 5-6 years ago. He's a little bit more hot and cold. I look for him to be cold here, and even with that, he's only about a 5-inning pitcher. You start getting into that Nationals bullpen. I just really, really like the Phillies here at minus 144. Next up, Toronto Blue Jays at plus 104 versus the Atlanta Braves. Ryu has not been quite as solid to start the season as he was the previous couple years, but I look for him to get back on track versus the Atlanta Braves here. I like the Blue Jays getting plus. The Braves have been really sort of hot and cold. I like the Blue Jays. We took Max Fried last week, if you remember, but this should be a really, really good pitching matchup, but I do like the 104 for Ryu here and the Toronto Blue Jays over the Atlanta Braves. And lastly, we're going to go with the Oakland Athletics plus 128 versus the Boston Red Sox. Pretty decent value to get plus here with Capillarian on the mound for the Oakland Athletics versus Eduardo Rodriguez. I think the better pitcher matchup here is with Oakland, and actually I think the hitting is sort of more favored to Boston, but I think Oakland can be able to hit Rodriguez, and they might not hit the long ball like Boston, but I think Oakland can slap it around just as well as Boston can and steal some runs here. I really like the plus 128 on the Oakland Athletics, so let's ride the Oakland Athletics plus 128. We mentioned one game in the NBA that we're going to take, and that game is the Cleveland Cavaliers getting plus 7.5 versus the Boston Celtics. Boston, another disappointing game last night. Jaylen Brown is now out for the year. They're on a back-to-back here after playing in Miami. I don't think Kemba Walker will probably play. They'll be pretty light out there. Evan Fournier, he has not looked good since he's come back for COVID. Yes, Cleveland is not totally playing to win here, but Boston has been playing to win for the last 2 months and haven't been able to do it. So I just think 7.5 is way, way too many points in this one. So I'm going to ride Cleveland and see if they cover that 7.5. Okay, on to tennis. We got the Rome Masters going on. We're about almost to the quarterfinals here. We're going to start out in the ATP Tour. We got one matchup in the ATP Tour we like, and that's Federico Delbonis plus 1.5 versus Felix Auger-Aliassime. Really like Federico here. He's been really playing well on this clay court season. He's done a whole lot of qualifiers, and out of the qualifiers, he's made runs in a handful of these tournaments. Starting in the Monte Carlo Masters, he made it to the second round where he lost to Rafael Nadal. No shame in that. Then he played in Serbia. He made it all the way to the quarterfinals in that one. From a qualifier in the Madrid Masters, he made it all the way to the round of 16 before he went down to Matteo Bertonetti, who was really, really playing well in that one. And then this one, he started out in the qualifiers and has made it to the round of 16. So I think he's really, really playing well right now, even with his qualifying matches that he has to get into the tournament. I think he's playing really, really good tennis. Felix, on the other hand, has been playing okay tennis, hot and cold tennis. We start in the Monte Carlo Masters. He loses in the first round. Then we go to Barcelona. He does make it to the quarterfinals before he gets swept by Tipsos. We go back to the Madrid Masters here, and what does he do? He loses in the first round to Casper Ruud, 1-4. That's just not good enough. Then we got him here in the Rome Masters. He's won 2 matches here. The first round matchup with Filip Krajinovic, he really, really sort of struggled in. That was a 6-3, 6-7, 6-4, so that was a long battled match. Then he got Diego Schwartzman, who had been playing pretty good tennis on the clay. He beat him up pretty good, but I just think the hot and cold nature of Felix Auger-Aliassime will not be able to withstand Federico Delbonis and his really, really good play right now. So we're going to take Federico in the plus 1.5. Really, really like that value there. All right, let's go to the WTA out in Rome. And what do we got first? We're going to stick with Coco Gauff plus the 4.5 versus Aria Sabalenka. Now, have we been writing Aria Sabalenka? Yes, we have. She has been playing amazing on this clay court season right now. We're talking Stuttgart. She made it to the finals where she lost to Barty. Then she made it to the Madrid Masters where she got that win back and beat Barty. And now she's cruising into the Rome Masters. Can she continue this up? She's played a whole lot of tennis the last couple weeks. And overall, I don't know if that 4.5 is just a little bit too much. Now, she does have a win over Coco Gauff in 3 sets, but that was on a hard court. But if you look at it, Gauff won 6-1 in the first set, then 7-5, 7-6. So these two play pretty tough matchups overall. Now, Gauff's clay court season has not been quite as impressive, though she did get to the quarterfinals of the Charleston Open before then coming to the Madrid Masters. And maybe there was a little jet lag there. That was a quick turnaround where she lost in the first round to Pilkasova, who's a pretty solid clay court player. So you can't really judge that too much, playing in Charleston, then coming over to Madrid and playing a first round matchup that was really, really tough. She's been a little bit better here in Rome, though she's gone to 3 sets in both, but I look for her to battle here, and I just think that 4.5 is a little bit too much, so we're going to ride Coco Gauff plus the 4.5. Next up, we're going to take Vera Zaranova plus the 1.5 minus 105 versus the aforementioned Carolina Pliskova. Pliskova probably the better player here, but I just think on clay this balances out. Zaranova is a veteran. I mean, a veteran here. In Istanbul, she made it to the round of 16. In Madrid, she made it to the round of 64 before she lost to Ariana Sabalenka. And then she's had 2 nice wins versus Petra Kvitova and Christian McHale here in the Rome Masters. I just think she might have a little something up her sleeve if she's not too worn out. Carolina Pliskova went to the quarterfinals before she lost to Vardy, and then bounced out in the second round of the Madrid Masters. So, you know, I think this is a little bit more even than it lets on, so I like getting that 1.5 game with Zaranova at plus 1.5 minus the 105. And lastly, we're going to go against Ashley Barty, who's been on a tremendous run, much like Anya Sabalenka. But we're going to take that 4.5 again with Veronika Kudermetova. Now, Kudermetova has been a little bit hot and cold. She had a nice run in Charleston where she ended up winning the tournament. Then she went to the Istanbul tournament, made it all the way to the semifinals before she lost to Elise Mertens. And then in Madrid, she did not quite do quite as well. She had 2 nice wins in the round of 64 and the round of 32, one versus Kiki Bertans, and then lost to Petra Kvitova in the round of 16 in Madrid. She's had 2 decent matches here in the Rome Masters. I just think this matchup for Barty will be a long and a battling one. Now, Barty has just been ridiculous. After that quarterfinal loss to Paula Badosa, who, no shame in that one, she ended up going to Stuttgart, winning that tournament, ended up going to the Madrid Masters, making it to the finals there and losing that one. But she hasn't blown anybody out, really, after the first round of any of these tournaments. So I look for her to be able to cover that 4.5 here that Kudermetova can. So we're taking Veronika Kudermetova plus 4.5 minus the 125 today. All right, that's our show. Be sure to follow us on greenlightnetwork.org. Please like and subscribe to our videos on YouTube so you don't miss any of our content. And please follow us on our Facebook page, Greenlight Network. You can find me, GLN Champ 5, on Twitter and Instagram. That's our show, and we're out.